Hello, my name is Annette. I have CF and I had a double lung transplant 6 years ago. Welcome to my channel. Hi everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I just wanted to wish everyone a happy 4th of July. I'm sitting in my car and it's July 3rd and I'm on the beach. Well, I'm on the road by the beach. I don't think you can see the beach because of the lighting. It's weird. But the ocean's right behind me. It's right there. Anyway, I just wanted to wish you a really happy and safe holiday. And I saw some things on the CF Facebook pages that I kind of wanted to address really quickly. I think that people underestimate the side effects that certain medications can have. And a lot of times we don't really talk about it. It's embarrassing. And let me just say that while my life after transplant has been amazing, I have had some side effects that I don't feel comfortable sharing publicly like this. But if anybody wants to reach out to me, either by email or we can do Skype or a phone call, I'm more than happy to talk about that. The medications that we get put on after transplant are so potent. I mean, they literally keep us alive. So to think that they're not going to affect anything else other than just keeping our lungs safe, well, it's an understatement. So for those of you who are considering a transplant or have recently had a transplant, it's definitely something to keep in mind, and it's nothing to really be afraid of because most of the time side effects can be handled with medication and or some kind of a lifestyle change. I will say that I have recently started taking biotin regularly. I take it twice a day with my medications. I also have had to watch my diet because I have gained some weight. And while I'm not what you would call overweight, I have gained about 20 pounds since my transplant. And my body reacts differently to foods than it used to, especially to sweets. I can gain weight very easily. So I need to kind of control my sweet tooth because I have a very big sweet tooth. And I also need to watch how much coffee I drink. I love coffee, but caffeine, when I combine it with some of my anti-rejection medications, which already cause a little bit of some trembling, like in the hands, like shaky hands and stuff. When you add too much caffeine, you can end up having really shaky hands and a little bit more jittery than I would like. So I've recently started finding other ways to fulfill that craving by either drinking decaf or drinking non-caffeinated teas. I recently made a hibiscus iced tea, which I'm loving. And a lot of the things that I drink, like for example iced tea, I will not add sugar to it. So for those of you who've had a transplant who may have gained a little bit of weight that you're not comfortable with, or maybe you are comfortable with it, either way, but still I know a lot of especially CFers who've had a transplant tend to develop diabetes. And I am going to talk about diabetes post-transplant in a future video. In fact, if you would like me to do that, please click the like on this video so that I know you want that. So if I get some likes, I'll know that you guys do want me to do a video about diabetes post double lung transplant for CFers, and I will talk about that. But in the meantime, definitely cutting down or at least limiting daily sweets and daily sugar intake is something that should seriously be considered. And then the other thing I wanted to talk about was letters to donor families. I specifically today I saw a lot of people posting about it. I actually shared my letter that I wrote to my donor family on the cystic fibrosis Facebook page. I shared it in one of the comments. So you can maybe look for that. And if you do want to see it, you can just go to my Transplant Blog, which is lungsforanet.wordpress.com. And I think it's actually linked in the top right corner of my YouTube channel, of this YouTube channel. So if you go to the channel page, it should be up at the top, or it might just be in the banner. I'm not sure how it works. It might be depending on what device you're on. If you're on a computer, like a desktop or laptop, or if you're on a mobile device. So I'm not entirely sure, but it should be linked. But again, it's just lungsforanet.wordpress.com. And you can read about my journey from the very beginning, and you can kind of tell how it all started. I talk about that, and then I continue on afterwards. I don't update it as much as I would like to. I feel like reading about something is a little less personal than actually talking to someone, which is one of the reasons I started this YouTube channel, is because I want to help people with CF as much as I can. Transplant is probably one of the most scariest and one of the most, just very humbling experiences that I ever went through. And, having CF, we go through a lot. So, especially the last few years leading up to transplant, and even as a child, growing up as a teenager, I had some trying times. But transplant you definitely feel very scared, very caged in, like you don't have a choice. And a lot of times, people don't make it much easier. But going back to the letter, I think writing a letter to the donor family is a very humbling, very emotional thing to do. I remember the day that I wrote my letter. I went to a lake. I didn't want to be at home when I did it. And I went to a lake near my house, and I honestly cried my eyes out as I was writing this letter in my notes app on my cell phone. And I typed it up on my cell phone, and it was from the heart. It was everything I ever wanted to say. And then I bought a greeting card, a very simple, plain greeting card, and I wrote it in the card. And I thought to myself, it's so mean. It's so horrible to send someone I don't even know a greeting card after their child had passed away. And the only thing I knew about my donor, still to this day, the only thing I know about my donor is that it was a 24-year-old male who died in a car accident. That was all I knew then, and that's all I still know now. And I sent the letter about 6 or 7 months after my transplant, because I had to give it to my transplant clinic doctor or nurse, and then they sent it from there. And I've never heard back from my donor family. And, I can't imagine how hard it must be for them. I mean, they lost a child, a son, a grandson, a brother. They lost someone whom they loved very much. So while it might seem comforting to them that their child somehow lives on, in a way it's almost kind of just, I don't know if it does comfort them. I think writing a letter in many ways is more for the transplant recipient than it is for the donor family. But at the same time, there are some donor families who are very receptive to knowing that a part of their family member, a part of their loved one continues to live and breathe and be a part of this world in some small way. So having said that, write the letter that you want to write, that feels honest and true to who you are. And don't worry about what you should say or shouldn't say or anything like that. Write the letter that you need to write and then figure out if you're going to be sending it or if it's just something that you needed to say. And there's no timetable, there's no time limit, there's no due date for any of this. This is something that is very much yours. And so just give yourself the time and the space to do it. And I had many false starts. I kept trying to do it and trying to do it, and the words just didn't come. And so, maybe the words will come tomorrow, maybe they'll come a week from now, a year from now. It really doesn't matter, because when they do come, you'll know, and you will write it, and then you will decide what you want to do with it, if you want to send it or if you don't. Writing a letter about an experience that truly saved your life, humbled you to just be helpless, just completely and totally helpless, is a very daunting and very challenging thing to do. And so just give yourself the time and the patience that you deserve and that you need to really get your thoughts together and figure out what you want to say. So that's that about the letter. And I was also thinking about kind of doing a little bit of lifestyle videos on this channel. So let me know in the comments below if you would like to see a little bit of my life. Or if you just prefer, talking head videos like this, I can continue to do that as well. These are pretty easy to do. And I can, pinpoint the topics that I want to talk about. But if you want to see my life a little bit, if you want to see what I do or how I live or anything like that, let me know in the comments below and I'll be happy to do it. So I am here for you. So if you'd like to know more about anything about my life, as far as, dating or medicine or, things that I can or can't do, all of that is up for grabs, up for debate, as you would say. And also, again, if you're having some kind of a reaction to a medicine, whether it's a CF medicine or transplant medicine, and you want to talk about it, again, I'm not a doctor by any means. I still am happy to talk about it and share my personal experiences with reactions to medications and different side effects. And yeah, so let me know. And again, happy 4th of July. Have a wonderful and safe holiday. And I hope that this Independence Day gives you a kind of personal independence that you have been looking for. All right. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.